Well, good morning. It's Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Let's talk about honey-do list. What's a honey-do list? You might be thinking. You might be wondering. That's what I call it, my honey-do list. So, I'm not going to be getting into anything this morning. I'm going to have my easy day. Just relaxing. Having my coffee. So if you're bored, come join me. You can see the sun's out. It's going to be beautiful. So, get you some coffee, a warm drink, cold drink, and let's talk about it. Do you have a honey-do list? And if you have a honey-do list, do you get to check it off, mark it out? That's my question this morning. So, I'm just adulting this morning. There's a few things that need to be done. So I have a very, very small honey-do list. To me, it's small. So, join me this morning and we're going to talk about it. And yes, I'm an adult. This is an adult channel. I do smoke cigarettes and I do drink coffee. So if that offends you, you may want to step out of the room because that's just the way I am. It's just the way I am. See if I can get you out of that sun a little bit. See if that helps. Maybe if I raise it up just a little bit. See if that helps a little bit. There. Hopefully that's a little better. So, yes, I am talking about a very sensitive subject, and it's called the honey-do list. I have a honey-do list. Does that mean that it's going to get completed? Absolutely not. But can I create one? Yes. Can I feel good about creating one? Absolutely. And then once I ponder and I think about it, and I really try to think, what do I really, really need done? What do I really need to put on my honey-do list? So I can hand it to my husband and say, honey, can you do these little things? That's why I call it my honey-do list. I make the list, and then I hand it to Mr. Z, and I say, honey, can you do these little things for me around the house that I feel really need to be done? So how do you create a honey-do list? Well, how do I create a honey-do list? I look at the things around the house, and I know everyone else probably is the same way. You have a lot of things that need to be tended to. We all have things that need to be tended to. So I look at it in the most important. Is a sink clogged? That's number one on my honeydew list. Oh wait, let me back up. If I have a small leak, that would be a water leak. That would be number one. Something structural that really needs tended to. That would be number one on my honeydew list. There's a small drip under the sink. I've placed a little pan under there or bowl. Honey, can you check that leak? Because little leaks become big leaks, correct? So that would be a honeydew list. That would be number one. Something structural, you know. A shingle blew off, or I have a leak, or a breaker keeps kicking off. That would be number one on the honeydew list. Something structural, something very, very important. That would be number one. That would be my number one category. So I have a number one, and I try to put three little things. 1, 2, 3 in my number one category on my honeydew list. So I had a small leak under the sink. It wasn't a big leak, and I just noticed it. So I put that down under my number one category, most important category. So that would be category, let's call it category A, okay? Category A will be your number one important things that you need to add on the honeydew list. Then you have B. Now what is B? What does B consist of? Well, once you get all the structural things, electrical, any leaks, anything outside, inside, that needs tended to, that's your part A. And you get three little, I put myself three. I don't want to make a big honeydew list. I don't want to be overwhelming. I don't want to feel like I'm being needy. So that would be part A. Hey, good morning, Peanut. That would be part A, number one, number two, number three. The most important things, and I haven't got big bold letters on top, honey-dew list. So that way I know it's on my refrigerator, and when something comes up, I can go over to my honey-dew list for Mr. Z, because I'm going to hand this list to him and say, honey, can you do these little things that need tended to? So that's why we call it the honeydew list, because I'm going to give it to Mr. Z, and then I'm going to say, honey, can you do this? I got class. Run, take care. Okay, thank you, Peanut. So, we've already discussed part A with 1, 2, and 3. That's it, 3 little things. Now, I'm moving to part B. Now, what would part B be? For me, this would be very important to me. Maybe not as important to Mr. Z, but important to me. So, part B, I've got 1, 2, 3. Now remember, I'm only going to do part A, part B, and part C. That's all there is. You only get A, B, and C. So when you're making a honeydew list, remember, your most important only gets 3 things. That's part A. So part B now, I'm on part B. Now what do I need? What is overwhelming me that I feel needs attention and that Mr. Z could make my life a little better if he would tweak it a little, if you must tweak it a little. So part B on my list would be organizing. When I'm trying to organize in a mobile home, I have to be very careful how I choose to organize everything. Like my master closet, my master bedroom closet, I'm working on it. And I'm putting everything right now in totes because we're getting ready to remodel the master bath. And next we'll go into the master bedroom once we get the kitchen and the master bath completed. The master bedroom will be next. So I know I've got a walk-in closet. I have this row of hanging clothes. The back is hanging clothes, and this is hanging clothes. So all the way around the walls is my hanging clothes with shelf on top. Then I have area underneath that I can put totes and drawers or shoe racks or whatever. And it's not a large walk-in closet. This is a mobile home, remember. So I'm putting everything in totes right now. And I'm doing it by season, making it easier for me. So whenever I go to pull things out, they're in a tote, and I've got spring, summer, winter, fall. You would think that would be very easy, but I've got a lot of clothes. I am a clothes collector. I'll admit it. I like clothes. And I like shoes. You wouldn't know that because normally I just have on my little footies or I'm barefooted, but that's in the house. But when I go out, I like shoes. So I have a variety of shoes. And now I have realized I have an overwhelming amount of clothes. You don't realize that till you go to organize. So I am thinking, this is me, just thinking, when we remodel the master bedroom and the walk-in closet, do I want to lose one of my racks? I don't think so. I need those. I need those for hanging. So I still need my 3 hanging racks. So I need Mr. Z, once I get everything in totes. Oh, my belly's growling this morning. And I don't even feel hungry. So, once they go in, and they remove all of my totes, to take up the carpet, take up the padding, I'm thinking, everything's empty. He's going to have that whole walk-in closet to look at. So, if I keep my 3 racks, I can keep my back rack for anything long, and then possibly have some shelving or storage underneath. I have quilts, beautiful quilts. And if he makes me like a trunk that I can just lift up and store all my quilts and things in, I think that would be very nice. And since I'm only using those quilts occasionally, I can store more things on top of those totes, or on top of that. Well, no, I wouldn't be able to do that because I've got my long clothing there. So my long clothing and the trunk. So there is all of my quilting, my quilts, my extra blankets, my pillows. You know, all of the things that ladies have to have. So all that would be on the back. So then on my side, I could have 2 rows of hanging short, you know, for short stuff. Then I would have all that space underneath and above. Now, mind you, even in the back with the long stuff, I can still have a shelf. So I can store things above. And then on the 2 sides, I can still store. And then on the bottom, I will have more storage below. And things are already in totes. So it'd be very easy for me to just put my totes underneath on the sides. So to me, I think that's very important. So on B, it will be for him to design my walk-in closet fantasy come true. And mind you, it's not a big walk-in closet, but it's my personal walk-in closet. Mr. Z gave me the walk-in closet because I have a lot of stuff. You know, women have a lot of stuff. So on honey-do list, part B, number 1 would be my walk-in closet. Organizational design by Mr. Z himself. And I know that he can do that. He's amazing. He's amazing. So that would be what I would do with my part B. Things that I really know that's going to help me feel more organized in my limited space. So, I've only got a few things right now on part A, number 1. You ever let that dog lick you? Well, puppies are puppies, and he is only 10 months, so he will lick. He gives kisses. He loves to give kisses. And right now, he's taking a nap. He's recharging his batteries. He's only 10 months old. So he's a busy little fella. But yes, he does lick. And he's getting a female. We're getting a new puppy. We're getting a female, so he will have a playmate, a companion. And she is right now 4 weeks old, 5 weeks old this week. And we'll be getting her at the end of the month. And she's a Maltese, just like him. And she's registered and microchipped in the whole 9 yards, just like him. But we go camping a lot. And I thought, how nice would it be? Because he's only 10 months. This is going to be his first camping ever. And how nice would it be if he has a playmate companion? So we are going to be getting him a little playmate companion. And this little fella is such a wonderful, wonderful dog. He's very smart. And he has brought so much joy to me. He really has. We got him when he was 17 and a half weeks old. And he is 10 months old this month. He is our sweet, sweet boy. And there's days I'm on live, and if you watch, yes, he is licking. But this morning, he's resting. Maybe he feels mommy thinking about all this honeydew list. Because it's spring. And I try to do it by season. So it's not that hard on Mr. Z. So now I have my part A, the small leak under the sink. And then I have only 1 on there. I haven't found anything else. So now part B, what I feel is important to me, but that will also make our home, to me, be improved. That's my part B. Now, part C on the honeydew list. Those are the ones that Mr. Z questions a lot. Big question mark. But I feel there should be a part C on any lady's honeydew list. And what goes on part C? I bet you're wondering. Because we've already covered A and B thoroughly. A and B. Don't want to keep repeating myself. So now I have part C. So what do we do on part C? These are things that I like to put on there that Mr. Z will question, and I like to watch the look on his face. And he says, oh, heavens, she did a part C. And it's really foggy behind me, in front of me. That's strange. Okay, let me see if I can adjust it a little bit. So part C is something that I feel is kind of fun for Mr. Z. He may not think it's fun, but I feel it's fun. And part C is things that I think are very important. Mr. Z may not feel the same exact way, but I feel they're important. Part C would be little things like, are you ready for this? I think it would be better if we had block out blinds whenever we get done remodeling. Let's put some shutters or block out blinds so that we don't have all this light coming in. Because I have windows on this side and windows across. So both sides have windows. Now, we're getting ready to remodel the living room, which is all the flooring's down. But whenever we remodel, we're going to be moving the television. We're going to be putting wood on one wall. You know, the long strips of wood. It's going to be a pine or a light hickory to match the hickory cabinets that we're putting in the kitchen, because you can see the living room and the kitchen. It's all open. So once that wall is done, that's where the big screen TV then will be put on the wall, because you know in a mobile home you can't put a big screen TV without a lot of bracing and bracketing and all that. Mr. Z tried to explain it, and apparently it's a lot of work. So the best thing is to put wood up first, give us that nice wood look, and then put the TV over there. Hi, Omi. Good morning. So if we're going to be putting the wood on the one wall, then I can do almost like a wood shutter behind me that I can close and do a reduce this, see all this, reduce that. Then when I want it, I can open them. So I'm thinking if we have one wooden wall and I have decorative curtains, wouldn't it be kind of nice to have the wooden shutters, at least in the living room? So that is number one on my list. Selecting all new blinds or shutters, whatever it may be, to eliminate this. Because no matter where I sit, I'm going to have this. It's just the way that mobile home is made. And I don't want really dark curtains hanging on behind me. I like nice, pretty, thin, decorative collar curtains. So I can eliminate putting dark, bulky things up if I use my little brain. And I think decorative and wooden shutters, I think would be very pretty in here. Very pretty. So that would be like number one on my part C. Now, the rest of the home, I can get darker blinds. I can get the blackout curtains that I want to close for privacy, whatever. But in my living room, I'm thinking with my wooden wall that Mr. Zink wants to put in, to put the big TV on, which I think is going to be beautiful. I love wood. I'm thinking wooden shutters. I don't know. What do you think? Would that be too much to ask for? Would that be a good idea for my number one on part C? Facing the window, have the window behind the camera. That's my only problem. I have that window behind my camera. If I turn it the other way, it looks exactly the same way. And if I go into the kitchen, I've got two windows on each side. Big windows, not little windows. So this is happening every room that I go into, except for my office. And right now, because I'm remodeling, everything that we've moved from this room to that room is now stored on my half of the office, where I could be in setting with no light behind me. But right now, the office is where we're moving everything from one room to the other because of the remodeling. And the remodeling really is number one. It needs to be done. So until that is completed, all the other rooms are completed. The office is going to be the very last room. And even in the office, it has a window that runs the whole, almost this whole wall. But I have dark curtains that I pull, and then I don't have that. Right, it'll be on this side of me. Instead of behind me, it'll be on the side of me. So when I'm sitting down, directly behind me is a wall. I don't have this. So right now I'm remodeling and I'm doing the best that I can with what I have available. And as you can see, sometimes it's a little frustrating. So, this is what we're talking about. Yep, we are. We're talking about a honey-do list. And my husband knows it's spring. And he knows that I'm going to be doing a honey-do list. He knows it's coming. He knows it's going to happen. And this morning he says, I know that you're probably working on a honey-do list. Let's see if I can turn it that way a little bit. I just don't know what to do. See what I mean? I don't know what to do about it. I'm doing my best. Hopefully it's not too bright. So, this is what I've got on my honey-do list. Number one, part A. I've got one thing so far. The leak under the sink. And it's just a small leak. It's nothing big. But I don't want it to lead to something bigger. This is just not working. No matter where I'm setting this, it's just not working. Let me see if I can roll that back a little bit. Does that make it worse? Does that make it better? I don't know. Maybe if I move it closer. I don't know what to do with it. I definitely have got to address this. It needs to be addressed. Maybe if I lean forward. There, I'll just lean forward. So, this is what I'm dealing with. It's nothing major that I'm asking for. I'm not saying, honey, I want you to tear down this wall and build something. No, I'm not asking for things like that. I don't put things like that on my honey-do list. That's just not part of my honey-do list. And I also know that within a month, I'm going to have some remodeling done. I'll be able to move around a little better. But no matter what room I go into, I need to address the coverings on the windows. So, I'm going to be looking at some different window coverings, shutters for the living room, and darker blinds, but not too dark for the rest of the home. So, I need to know, Mr. Z has not come up with a, it's going to be gray, it's going to be beige, but he wants one color throughout. And I'm thinking he thought he picked beige, this beige. So anything is going to go nice with this beige. Hi, Luke. Good morning. So number 2 on my part C, on my honey-do list, is what is the color palette that you are going to choose? I need to know these things, because I cannot make part 1 on my honey-do list if I don't have part 2. What color, Mr. Z? What color? Well, he says maybe beige. I like beige. Oh, and I also like light gray. So I keep getting beige and light gray, but not a confirmed answer. So number 2 is I need a confirmed answer on the color. What color are you going to have throughout so that I can pick my window coverings? Part 1, C. So see, it's not a big thing, but it's a big thing for me, because I'm going to have to look and search and choose. So to me, that's going to be a lot. A lot. Imagine that. So far on my honey-do list, I have on part A, number 1, the small leak under the sink. Can you take a look at that? Not very big. Part B, number 1, when we go to remodel the master bedroom, I need you to come up with my fantasy, my dream walk-in closet in a limited space. And I know that Mr. Z can do that. He's very talented. So I know that he can do that. I know he can. There's no doubt in my mind. I know Mr. Z. I know what he can do. He's amazing. Now, he won't be doing it himself, but I know that he can create that awesome walk-in closet. I know he can. He can design it. He can order everything and tell the people that are coming in, tell the crew, this is what I want for my Mrs. Z. Me. So that's going to make me feel special, and it's going to be organizing our bedroom. He never sees the walk-in closet. The door's closed. So that's like my she shed, my she room. He never turns the knob and opens that walk-in closet. I think he's afraid. I think he's afraid to turn that knob. and look. Because he knows there's going to be a lot of things in there. A lot of clothes, a lot of shoes. And I need a she shed. But I don't have a she shed. So he's very gracious in his building. He gave me one side of the loft, and I have all my decorations and totes. So I have a little bit of she shed in his he shed. And he said, when we purchase land and we move this mobile home, the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to get you your very own she shed. She shed for me. Awesome. Awesome. I'm already getting designs in my head. What am I going to do in my she shed? You know. But that day's not here yet. And I don't know when that will come. We are looking for land to purchase. And that will be in the near future. But we are still remodeling this whole entire mobile home. And that way we can just move it to the land. Everything is remodeled. Everything is up to date. Everything is paid for. And we will be very comfortable in this mobile home. Down the road, we can build our dream retirement small cabin on our own property. But right now, I'm in a mobile home, and it is what it is. So do we all have a honey-do list? That's my question. Do you have a honey-do list? Do you categorize your honey-do list like I do, or do you just make a list and hand it to your husband and say, honey, can you do these little things on this list? How do you organize your honey-do list? Am I doing this wrong? Am I approaching it wrong? Do I need to revise my honey-do list? I'm not sure. But this morning, Mr. Z said, I know if I go in there and I look on the refrigerator, I'm going to find a honey-do list. It's spring. But let me see if I can get you a little bit closer. Yeah, you're not close enough. Let's go closer. There's no list on the no honey-do list on the refrigerator. And he always knows I put it right here on the front. But do you know why I don't have a honey-do list on there yet? Do you want to know why? Because I know he's going to sneak in and he's going to look at it. He is. He is. And then in his mind, he's going to already start checking off little things on my honey-do list. So I haven't put my honey-do list on the fridge. It's not there. Mr. Z went to look. And I think that's why he said, I know, sweetheart, you've got a spring honey-do list. And he went in and looked on the fridge, and it's not there. I haven't put it up yet. I have not put it up yet. So he's curious. And I'm not going to make a very big honey-do list because we are going to be remodeling. We've got a lot that needs done. I'm not going to stress Mr. Z out. But I just want to know, do you have a honey-do list? Is this something that all housewives do, all women do? They have a little honey-do list that they can hand to their hubby or their significant other and say, honey, can you do these little things for me, please? Do you have a honey-do list? If you do, what's on your honey-do list? I know one time, only once, I handed my hubby, Mr. Z, a honey-do list. Had 4 little things on it. Did 4. 3 of them were structural. So 3 of them were in Part A. Part A had all 3 complete. Part B had 1 thing, and Part C had 1 thing. So, and only one time did this ever happen. I handed Mr. Z my thought about my, to me, organized, well-planned honey-do list. Mr. Z sat down with the list and he studied it. And then he kind of looked around at the different things, you know, and then he looked at the list and he studied it. This was maybe 15 minutes. He's looking at these 5 things. And then do you know what Mr. Z did? He took my honey-do list and he crumpled it. And he laid it down. And I thought, he's got it mentally. He took 15 minutes. He mentally has my whole honey-do list memorized. And I was impressed. So about an hour later, Mr. Z came in and he said, about your honey-do list. I said, yes. I'm impressed. You read it and you memorized it. He said, memorized it? Didn't you see me crumple it up and toss it? And I said, yeah, because you memorized it, right? He said, no, because I'm not going to do it. You're going to have to start over. And this took me a month and a half to come up with a honey-do list. 1.5 months. And I had to start over. That's only happened once. Because the second honey-do list that I come up with, there was not Part A with 3, and there wasn't Part B with 3, and there wasn't Part C with 3. I said, you want a real honey-do list? I'm giving you 35 things that need to be done. 35. Not 5. 35. So when I gave him my new list, Mr. Z looked at it very carefully. I think he knew that Mama might be a little upset over the first list. He studied it. He said, I'll be back. I need to go get some supplies. I said, okay. Because he knew I was being serious on the second list. I was being absolutely positively serious as I could be. Putting my little foot down, if you know what I mean. Which normally doesn't get me anywhere. But I did it. So Mr. Z was gone for a couple hours, and I thought, boy, he's getting everything on that list. He is. Mr. Z come back home with the prettiest bouquet of flowers I've ever seen. With the prettiest card, sweetest card I've ever read. And chocolates. Very tasty chocolates. And I thought, well, that is so sweet. And I said, did you find everything on the list? He said, I absolutely did. And list one will be completed by the end of the month. I'm sorry. Yeah. He only did it once. So he knows that my lists are serious. And some seasons come and he'll say, where's your honeydew list? I don't have one. And I don't like to make a honeydew list unless I absolutely have to. And since we are remodeling, Part B did come into place, and Part C, because that's all going to be part of our remodeling. So I'm just adding a little extra features to what Mr. Z's already got planned out for each room, as because he planned out the kitchen, what it's going to look like. Of course, I got to go help pick out the cabinetry. We haven't picked out the countertop yet. Once we start taking out the side of the kitchen that I'm always recording in. And, but Mr. Z is so good at everything, and I know he's good at it. So I let him do all the big stuff, and then I do the little stuff. And one day I told him, there's times that you just don't really feel like you're doing enough, you know, because you're just doing little stuff. And I feel like I'm putting everything onto Mr. Z, and I don't like to do that. And can I help Mr. Z anytime that I can help Mr. Z? I am right there. Me and my two little step stool were available because Mr. Z is taller than I am. And if we need to hold something up, I'm not tall enough to keep it even with Mr. Z without my handy dandy trusty sturdy two-step stool. My friend, my pal, my two-step stool. Well, it's not a stool. It's a little ladder, but you know, I call it a stool. So I started to get kind of quiet here about a month ago. And I didn't realize I was getting quiet because normally I'm yakety yakking, you know, yak, yak, yak. And one evening, Mr. Z said, can we talk? I said, yeah. He said, is something wrong? I said, what do you mean? He said, you're just not. You're not your happy self. I know you're stressed out. I know you're carrying a load. I know that. You're worried about your daughter. That weighs heavy on your heart and your mind every day. I know it does. But you seem more quiet than normal. Are you okay? And I didn't realize that. Sorry, I got vehicles coming by. They're loud. This one's loud. And I told him, I said, you know, I said, even with the remodeling and stuff that we're getting ready to get back into, I said, I just don't feel like I do very much. You know, I feel like I put too much on you. And I try not to. And I try to be considerate, to be kind, to be understanding. I know anytime that you're going to do a project, you're going to have to find help to come in and help. And I used to be that helper for you. And you and I used to do everything together, and we would get it done. And I know now that it's really stressful because there's things that need done, and you have to set everything up and get a crew to come in and, you know, set it up on their time, not our time. And, or if we do it ourselves, I know it's going to take longer to do it because neither one of us have the capability we used to, with both of us being disabled. I said, so I think I'm quiet because I'm wondering what more is there that I can do to help, and why do I feel like I'm not doing enough to help? And I don't want to hand you this huge, humongous honeydew list. And Mr. Z, being Mr. Z, sat there for a little bit. And he said, every day you do a lot of things that you don't even realize mean a lot. And he said, I give you a honeydew list every day. I don't write it down. But every day I'm giving you a honeydew list. A verbal honeydew list. And he said, you just say, okay, honey. You know, you want a carrot cake? Okay. You want brownies? Okay. You know, can you pick up this or can you pick up that when you're out? He said, I give you a honeydew list every day. And he said, and when I'm not giving you a honeydew list, you are my honey and you're doing for me without even realizing it. So, what do you consider a honeydew list? Do we have a honeydew list that we're doing every day and we don't even realize it? And that's what happened. I didn't realize it. And he made me feel important. He made me feel good about myself. He made me feel that even though I am not able to do the things I used to do, that the things that I am doing mean the world to him. They're precious. So he said, please get your spring honeydew list ready. And he might chuckle and he might protest just a little bit. But I think he enjoys getting a honeydew list. I enjoy making them. So, that's what I wanted to talk about this morning. A honeydew list. So I was thinking about this morning before Mr. Z went to town. And he asked me if I could make a carrot cake for him this morning. No, I said, would you like a carrot cake this morning? He said, yes, with lots and lots of icing, please. And then I said, how is Philly steak and cheese subs sound for dinner and french fries? He said, that sounds amazing. And then there was something else that I mentioned doing today. And then I realized that I'm doing a honeydew list every day. And I enjoy it. I really enjoy having a honeydew list. I enjoy making Mr. Z happy. And yes, I'm his honey. And he gives me honeydew list. And yes, he is my honey. And I give him honeydew list. And I think that's just the way that we get things done. You have to have a way of getting things done. That's the way we do it. We use a honeydew list, whether it's written or whether it's verbal. We do a honeydew list. And by the way, the chicken jerky turned out amazing yesterday for my pup. He absolutely loves it. And Mr. Z said it, you're going to have to go get some more of that chicken breast when you do your grocery haul that I know you're about ready to go do. He said, make sure that you get some extra chicken breast like you had the 4 that you tried out. He said, make sure you get several of them and get them in the freezer and have them available so that they said it would. I know on the days that you have nothing to do, because you know us women, we have nothing to do, you can always have that available to make the chicken jerky. So that's what I'm discussing this morning. My honeydew list. I think Mr. Z was shocked. He doesn't see it yet. But I do have one. But this time, it's right here. Because I know if I put it on the fridge, he's going to go in and get in the fridge. And every time he gets in it, he's going to be peeking at the honeydew list. And then he's already going to know what's on it. And that's okay. That's okay. But I think he was just curious. One thing on the honeydew list is to get the gazebo canvas top up and help me get the gazebo ready to get all my covers off, all the furniture on the deck, and get everything set up. But that's down the road. That'll be on the structural. That'll be on number 1, part C, or number 3, probably. Because we still have wind, we still have rain and storms. So usually we wait till May, the end of April, 1st of May. So, do I have my honeydew list? Yeah. Did Mr. Z get to see it yet? No. And he's been throwing little hints, like he's trying to guess what's on the honeydew list, and I think that's so cute. He says, now when you make your honeydew list, now you don't have anything big on there, do you? And I said, well, do I normally? No. I said, why would I add something big then? So he's throwing little hints. He wants to see the honeydew list. So guess what I'm going to do today? I'm going to make the honeydew list. I am. And I'm going to put it on the fridge. And I know, now it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but Mr. Z will go in and peek. He'll peek, and he'll see the honeydew list. And then that gives him time to think, to plan, and then to complete the honeydew list. Now, I just found the small water leak yesterday, and it's on the reverse osmosis system, and I think he just needs to tighten it. So, that's why I'm going to do my honeydew list today, and I will tell him you might want to look at the honeydew list because number 1 is very important. I found a small leak yesterday, and I think you need to tighten that little thingamajiggy up underneath the sink on the reverse osmosis system. Then he can check that off, and I put a pin there so he can check it off and mark it out. And he loves to check it off and mark it out. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be making my honeydew list for Mr. Z. And now this honeydew list will do me clear up until summer. This is spring. So I can't add anything. This is all going to take me all the way through till summer. And then I can go into my next honeydew list. And then fall. I do one each season. So I only get one chance to get this right. So I've had to think about it. I've had to plan. I've had to walk all around. I've had to investigate everything in the house. and decide what do I want on my honey-do list. I'm ready. I'm ready to make my honey-do list for spring. I'm going to do that today. So, that's why I wanted to say it's Tuesday. Honey-do list. Yep. Today's the day. Miss Tammy is going to make her honey-do list. I don't have a lot to do today. Of course, I always have stuff to do. I'm going to be sweeping all my floors, scrubbing all my floors, dusting my normal things because I'm having an easy dinner. And then I'm going to be baking carrot cake for Mr. Z as requested. Extra icing. So that's going to give me a little bit of free time today that I can sit down and create my amazing, well-planned, well-thought-out honey-do list for spring. So I'm going to go ahead and hop off of here because you know me, I've got a lot of things to do. I've always got something to do. And I'm slow, so it takes me a little longer to do them, but I always get them done. Always. And did the new grill cover, the big, heavy duty grill cover, the third one that I ordered, did it fit the grill? It absolutely did. It absolutely did. Does it match all of my other covers for all my deck furniture? It absolutely does. So I did not strike out. I did not. I had strike one and strike two, but I think I hit it out of the ballpark when I ordered the third heavy duty canvas grill cover. So I've taken up enough of your time. I've probably been on here about an hour, but I did, comment. Tell me, do you have a honey-do list? Do you organize it? How do you organize it? Because I might need to tweak my system a little bit. Seems to be working for me and has for, will be 15 years this year. So, I don't want to tweak it too much. Never try to fix something that's not broken. And so far, my honey-do list work. They're not broken. So, until next time, I want to wish you all a very happy Tuesday. And look at the sunshine. Go out, get some sun, get some vitamin D. It's good for you. Enjoy your day. And if you're making a honey-do list, I wish you all the luck. I know that's hard to put a honey-do list together, so I'm with you. I'm thinking about you. So, till next time, everyone have a wonderful day. And as always, be kind. Be kind to one another. We need to see more of that. So, I'm going to hop off of here, get some things done, and create my honey-do list today. So, till next time, bye-bye, everyone. Enjoy your day. I'll see you later. Well, not later. You know what I mean. I'll see you the next time. Bye-bye.